Alright, I wanted to do a really quick tutorial just to show you how you can use random numbers in your programming. So let's just create a new Java project. And I've already showed you how to use selective execution, conditional programming, so let's just do something really quick. Generating a random number can be kind of tricky. I'm going to try to explain exactly how the random number generation works and how you can manipulate it to give you something in a constrained range. Alright, so if I were to just say math.random, that's Java's function that produces random numbers. We would have to store it as a variable, so let's say double rand num equals, and then we can output it just to see what it produces. So if I click run, I'm going to get a value between 0 and 1, but it can't ever actually equal 1. It might be a 0.9999. So the first time we run it, it gives us a 0.81. Second time we run it, it gives us a 0.189. That at first might not seem very useful if the range is between 0 and 1. But like I said, we can manipulate that to fit whatever range we want. Like if I wanted a random number between 1 and 10, for instance, I could just multiply this by 10. And this is actually going to go from 0 to 9.999, right? But it could never actually equal 10. So if I wanted to allow it to equal 10 and not have the possibility of it equaling 0, easy, I just add a 1 to it. And because of the order of operations, I don't have to have parentheses around this part, but I'm going to put parentheses anyway, just so it's easy to understand the process, which operations happen first. So now it's going to be between 1 and 10. It still has a decimal value though, so if you want to get rid of that decimal value, you could turn it into an integer. We could just say cast it to be an int and then put this around everything, parentheses. Now we've got a number between 1 and 10, and the first one it gives us is a 1. And if I didn't want it to even have the decimal point at all, I could just turn it into an int in the first place, not a double. And now we should have the number, with no decimal at all. Okay, so let's play around with this a little bit more. If I wanted to do between 50 and 75, that's kind of a weird range of random numbers. I could say, well, let's see, between 50 and 75, there are 25 numbers, right? So that would be the range. And then the first possible value it could be would be a 50. And I'm assuming we're not including the 75 if I say that. Otherwise, I should say 26 possible values. And let's run it. So I got a 59. And it appears to be working.